And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans, droids, Catabuda Coneheads, all you rifle-packing grannies out there, and of course, all you walking dictionaries as well. Welcome to AHN Arnold Holonet News, the only news you'll ever need because you have no other choice. Although when it comes to dictionary needs, the sources, better sources out there for that. I'm not gonna lie. Today, people, we have ourselves the kit reveal for Hunter Mercenary. I don't know what's going on. The kit reveals are all over the place. It's kit reveal bonanza. But you know what? Sometimes I like when these kit reveals are spontaneous, out of the ordinary. Keeps the flame in your heart alive. It gives you some unexpected excitement that we need. But again, we had an old kit reveal schedule. It was for like that for years. Then moved on to the new thing recently. And then shortly after the new thing, it's like all over the place. You know, I don't know what's going on, but it means it's another opportunity for us to have a little sit-down chat on what this new guy is all about. And I took a little gander at this kit. And my tactical scanners did some full processing, and let's just say I'm liking the new look of this new Bad Batch Mercenary team. In case you guys missed it, card in the top right-hand corner, Jocasta new Rifled Edition was announced. A new legendary is coming. New Jedi Vanguard stuff has happened. Holy cow, out of left field, I still can't stop laughing about a grandma packing some heat. You know, when the force isn't enough, sometimes you need a couple rounds on you, as Jocasta new would say. And also, I had a core memory unlock. Holy cow, I have not said this word in decades, like multiple decades. Onomatopoeias. I was like, what is this foreign word? What is this? And then rightfully so, the chat's like, bro. And I'm like, bro. Yeah, okay, I want to make something incredibly clear. Just because, I may have went to law school. Yeah, just because I may be a licensed attorney. First off, I'm not a walking dictionary. That does not, just because you went to law school, that doesn't mean you're a walking dictionary. Number two, the biggest misconception, I think, just because I went through all that, that doesn't mean I'm not an idiot. And you guys should hopefully understand that by now. Come on, did you need me to remind you at this moment? Anyways, onomatopoeias. I mean, I'm not even kidding. If there's a word I haven't said since probably second grade, it's probably that word. But don't worry, I know a squared plus c squared equals c squared. You know, whatever the thing is, ABC squared. Okay. People, Hunter Mercenary kit reveal. Support. Bad Batch, Mercenary, Light Side. You may have already noticed, he's a support character. You're like, WT to the frickin' H. When we take a little gander at the Bad Batch, you might be like, well, Hunter's an attacker. And CG's like, nah, not this go around. We see him as more of a support character. And in season 3, I would kind of agree with that. But don't be fooled. As you can probably read in their little key attributes, the inspiration and strategy tips, they kept some attack-like attributes. Don't fret, my friends. We're gonna talk about later on in this video how, yes, he's gonna be supporting with a lot of mark. The mark is gonna, it seems like it's kind of leading itself to the core thing, the core X factor for this team of people, just like defense upwards for the old Bad Batch. He's still gonna deal some damage out there. And just to clarify, again, these kit reveals are all over the place. We're not getting Hunter until next week. I wonder if they're doing these kit reveals just a lot earlier because maybe people aren't as excited. They want to get some triple B adrenaline in your veins. I don't know. So next Tuesday, February 11th, we'll be taking him for a spin and seeing what he's adding to the new Bad Batch crew. And so far, we could see a little bit of Mark in previous kits. And we're going to get a better picture on why Omega's cooldown reduction is going to be helpful, not just for Darth Nihilus, but for something else here. So let's get to the basic here. DC-17 Blaster, already a pretty wordy, lengthy basic that we have. Deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict speed down. Oh, by the way, before we get going, yeah, I want to point this out. A lot of Hunter's animations will resemble his actions from the show. My favorite being the electrical staff, which Hunter throws. Where is it? I don't see it. I want to see it. I digress. Let's get back on topic. Deal physical damage to target enemy. Inflict speed down on them for 1 turn. During Hunter's turn, call a random Bad Batch attacker ally to assist. And you might be like, wait. Bad Batch attacker allies, you know, we don't got too many of those. I mean, I guess you can say the old school Hunter's an attacker, right? Or you might be like, you know, Omega? Yeah, okay, sure, the old Omega, Draco Malfoy edition. It's probably going to be 2 things. Number 1, Batcher is an attacker, obviously, unless they turn Wrecker into an attacker. I think he's still going to be tank. I think we can all but assume, basically, it's probably going to be primarily beneficial for Crosshair. I think we can all agree, likely going to be an attacker. But besides calling a random Bad Batch ally attacker to assist, all attacker allies are going to gain critical chance up for 1 turn. And if the target enemy is marked, here's where we're going to start seeing marked synergy in action. We saw a little bit of it with Batcher. It was situational, but now we're up in the ante. We're up in the pace of its effectiveness. We're all Bad Batch attacker allies are going to gain 5% offense, stack it to a max of 50%. And the reason why this is going to be nice, one of my biggest complaints about Batcher? Not really hitting hard. Well, now it's going to be a bit different. We're going to be able to call him to assist more often and also increase the damage we're spewing out there. You're going to have your defense reduced by 5% stacking. So your offense goes up, the defense goes down. What does that mean? More damage, baby. That's what we're getting, which can't be resisted until the end of the encounter. And now we have the special one here. Take a shot. Check this out. Cooldown of 2. One thing about this team, they got some pretty low cooldowns. Well, until you hit this thing. Don't worry about it, though. We'll get to there. If no enemies are marked, you inflict mark on the target enemy for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted, but it can be cleansed, dispelled, right? So that's the only thing that's going wrong. But like, who knows? Maybe they'll add something to stop the cleansing or penalize cleansing mark. All Bad Batch allies gain offense up and 50% protection. But again, based off your max health, yeah, that's going to be a pretty substantial amount for 1 turn. Then furthermore, call all Bad Batch attacker allies to assist, dealing 30% less damage. So right now, basically, the Batcher, old school Hunter, likely going to be Crosshair as well. And one thing we're saying with these new Bad Batch characters, yeah, they're probably going to work better if they're Mercenary lineup, but we're kind of able to use with the old Bad Batch crew a little bit. Getting more ways to get the old Bad Batch to assist is a big deal. I'm really looking forward to trying that out at the very minimum, getting offense up, protection up. And not even just the Mercenary Bad Batch, the all Bad Batch allies. Thumbs up from me. I'm liking that. But again, the Mark synergy is what's going to be important, but it's going to get even more important. Strap in. If you're worried about him being a support character and not an attacker, let's try to extinguish some of those concerns. We have the special 2. This will hurt. Cooldown of 30. This is like almost BB-8 level cooldowns here. And reading this makes me be like, yeah, you guys are crazy for letting Nihilus work with Omega, but you better not take it away from me. But here's what we got. Deal physical damage to target enemy equal to 100% of their max health. Increase to 200% if they are marked. So that's why the mark is going to be even more important. So Batcher's got some, he's got some, which can't be evaded. Shock all the enemies for 2 turns. Useful stuff right there, which can't be evaded. And inflict protection disruption on them for 3 turns. We are really seeing the importance of protection disruption like just surge over this past year. This, do not sleep on a debuff like this, and it can't be evaded or resisted. Thumbs up. But what are the 3 horsemen when it comes to buffs? You want it to be non-avoidable, want to be irresistible, and you want to be non-dispellable. It can be dispelled still. Bad Batch allies gain 100% defense penetration stacking until the end of the encounter, and this ability starts in the cooldown. So now it's starting to make sense why Bad Batch Omega is, even though right now she's a great plug-and-play character, we call her Darth Omega for a reason. She's literally the Nihilus lifter that he's been looking for. This is the real reason why. I'm expecting we're probably going to see more of this with other characters' kits. Even though this isn't quite an insta-kill, dealing max health damage of 200% is kind of a substantial amount. Anyways, now we have a pretty lengthy unique ability, and check it out, a Soldier of Fortune thing. So maybe you can use it with Balin. But let's check this out. Focus cooperation. Omicron, Zeta at the start. Oh, and also Territory War, Omicron. Not as bad as Galactic Challenge, Conquest or Territory battles. At the start of the encounter, all Bad Batch allies, again, all of them, not like Bad Batch Mercenary, all of them, they get 50% max protection. Again, even if you're not building this new team, this might be good for the old team. Whenever an enemy is marked, all Bad Batch allies recover 7%. And whenever a marked enemy is damaged by a Bad Batch ally, if the ally at the lowest turn meter is Bad Batch, they gain speed up for 2 turns. Like, it's kind of like, all right, come on, man. We got to speed it up. Here you go. Get a speed up. Let's get you into battle a little bit more often. And then whenever marked expires on the enemy, you get days healing immunity on them for 1 turn. I'm not sure if that can be evaded or resisted and all that other fun stuff. I'm assuming it can be. At the start of the marked enemy's turn, inflict offense down on them for 1 turn, which can't be evaded. And here's where you really see those support attributes coming in, reducing their damage, getting all these debuffs, giving you some buffs and healing. And then whenever a marked enemy is defeated, expose all enemies for 2 turns and reduce the cooldown of this will hurt by 5. Remember, anytime a marked enemy is defeated, so it doesn't have to be Hunter defeating them. It could be anybody defeating a marked character. So That's why, again, yet another reason, if you haven't been convinced, why the mark is important. We're not done yet. We have more words equals more better, as I like to say. If Hunter has 15 or more stacks of target practice, he gains a bonus turn when mark expires on enemies. Whew. We haven't really been able to appreciate the target practice as much, but now we can see. It's always like this with new teams. It's like you start seeing the Lego bricks build up. Whenever Hunter gains a stack of target practice, reduce the cooldown of this will hurt by 1. So although it's a cooldown of 30, it's gonna move a lot fast, I think. And then while Hunter has 40 or more stacks of Soldier of Fortune, enemies are inflicted with buff immunity for 1 turn whenever their buffs are dispelled. That's almost, doesn't Hondo kind of got something like that too? He's got like all these debuffs that he throws out there. Yeah, as he builds up his stacks of profit. Cool stuff. And then when a Bad Batch ally loses captive, reset the cooldown of this will hurt. Now, when I'm reading this, when a Bad Batch ally loses captive, I wonder if that means both when you save them, they get rid of captive, or when they get defeated because you didn't get enough stacks. I'm assuming maybe that affects, both of those prongs, if you understand what I'm saying, because when you get defeated, technically the effect expires, right? You lose it at that point. I'm curious to see how that's going to work out. And then while in territories at the start of the encounter, Hunter has this will hurt available, which I think that means basically not quite a turn 1 insta-kill, but kind of a turn 1 insta-kill. And then when Hunter gains a stack of target practice, reduce this will hurt's cooldown by 5. Okay. And then if there are no galactic legends while a Bad Batch ally is captive, Bad Batch allies deal an additional instance of damage to the target enemy on their turn. Then whenever a marked enemy takes a turn, reduce their max health by 10% stacking until the end of the encounter, excluding galactic legends. I'm gonna be real with you people. I know it's territories, and to me, that's the second priority of Omicrons in the game. Hunter's starting to give me like, okay, I'm looking forward to this team now. I'm tempted to throw this Omicron on. And again, territories, I don't really feel like I get much benefit out of them, but man, I still want to do it nonetheless. And then we have Soldier of Fortune, and keep in mind, he's got the Mercenary tag as well. So, I mean, a lot of his stuff seems very conditioned on the Bad Batch having Mark. And for example, you don't really have Mark, right? You don't have any marks on the Balin Skull lineup, so you won't be able to get like this 200% max health damage, but still be able to get 100% max health damage. Seems to be maybe something that could work for a Mercenary lineup with Balin Skull. But anyways, here's what you get with the Soldier of Fortune unique ability. I like that we're starting to flesh out the Mercenary faction. It seemed really one-dimensional. It was mostly Balin Skull or bust. There really wasn't much Mercenary stuff beyond Balin. But it's cool, sort of like bounty hunters, they all get their different payouts and contracts and all this fun stuff. It's cool that we're starting to flesh this out. So I'm sure there might be some other Soldier of Fortune stuff with the other guys like Wrecker. But whenever a marked enemy is damaged by a Mercenary ally, Hunter gains a stack of Soldier of Fortune. So again, I mean, I need to pull up the Mercenary thing again. Let me see. Is there someone that's in here that has a mark? I mean, look with me, people. Is anything coming to light here? Mark. Yeah, I mean, Mark has been a fairly exclusive debuff. Of course, they slowly implement it over time, but I don't think there's really any mercenaries that have it at this present moment. So he's gonna be one of the few of them. And then whenever Mark is dispelled or expires, this is where you kind of get a little bit of a kickback. Yes, you can't cleanse it, but he's gonna get 5 stacks of Soldier of Fortune. And at the start of their turn, this one perplexes me a little bit. At the start of their turn, each Mercenary ally gains 3% accuracy for each stack of Soldier of Fortune they have until the start of their turn. Why the heck do I want accuracy? There could be maybe something down the road where the more, we've been joking, maybe make accuracy mods relevant again. Or relevant again, make them relevant. Maybe they'll do something where the more accuracy you have, the more damage you put out, or maybe just to make sure, things like, evasion mastery don't get in your way. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys have experienced Ezra Bridger Exile or Jedi Training Gray when their mastery for evasion just skyrockets, you can't hit them. Maybe it helps out. It seems a little out of the ordinary. And when there's something out of the ordinary, that means it's gonna become ordinary because somebody's gonna make it make more sense. You catching my drift here? So people, overall, I know we said Batcher wasn't really offering much. This seems substantial for the old Bad Batch crew. The team is starting to make sense. Mark is going to be important. More ways to jack up our offense. Mini-Instakill like abilities. People, I'm looking forward to him, although it's going to be a week until we get him. But better sooner than never. Better late than never is old school. We want it sooner than never, my friends. So stay tuned. We'll find out more about this and the rest of the Bad Batch members as we progress. But until then, leave that like, comment down below, subscribe to our beautiful empire, because around here, my friends, here at AHN, we always like to say one thing, and that it's great to be in the empire today.